Good morning. Good morning from the Bullitt County Historical Society and also from the Hideway. Today's tidbit is on Lexington, Georgia. One of the quaintest little towns in Georgia is Lexington. It's on Georgia Highway 78 on the way to Athens. For years, a ride through Lexington meant a glorious stop at Goodness Groves, one of the finest perennial garden stores in Georgia, really in the South. The owner died last year, and so its doors are closed. I'm sad. Ryan Gainey, a very special friend, had a second home in Lexington. Ryan was a globally famous garden designer. He and I served on the Atlanta Botanical Garden Board of Directors many years ago. I actually have an angel from one of the hundreds he bought one year for Ann Cox Chambers. She wanted an angel tree. As only Ryan could say, "The Jenny and take it. She'll never miss one of these little girls I bought 100 or so for." In 2016, Ryan died in a tragic house fire here in Lexington. I still can't get over that. I do love Lexington. Last month, Sylvia Brunson Harville and I spent some time in this hamlet. Lexington is the county seat of Oglethorpe County, which is named for Georgia's founder, James Oglethorpe. It was carved from Wilkes County in 1793 to accommodate population growth. Lexington was a small settlement before the county was established. It was named after the town of Lexington in Massachusetts. It was known for the education, culture, and refinement of its citizens. The present courthouse, built in 1887, is made primarily of local granite, wood, and brick that was made right there. It represents the Romanesque Revival style of architecture. The first Whitney cotton gin in Oglethorpe County was operated on Troublesome Creek at the edge of Lexington, and the owner used water power rather than horses to power this gin. Francis Meeson was a teacher and wealthy merchant in Lexington. He came to the United States from Ireland. He died young in 1806. And it was stipulated in his will that $8,000 be used to build an academy. It also established an endowment to keep this academy flush with money. The Meeson Male Academy opened in 1808 as the first privately endowed academy in Georgia. It drew students from all over the state and had a larger enrollment than Franklin College. Didn't know this. We all know that Franklin College was the first college before UGA. A genteel boarding school for girls was opened in 1810, and a female department was then added to Meeson Academy in the 1820s. Sure believed in education. Thanks. In 1810, Lexington boasted a population of 222, including 113 enslaved persons. In 1828, the first Presbyterian Theological Seminary in Georgia was established in Lexington. Dr. Thomas Goulding, minister at Beth Salem, Lexington Presbyterian Church, was appointed the professor of theology. The Beth Salem Meeting House of Oglethorpe County was organized in 1785. That's a very old church in our state. The seminary here in Lexington was moved from the Presbyterian Manse to Columbia, South Carolina, and renamed Columbia Theological Seminary. It is now located in Decatur, Georgia. In the 1820s, 200 years ago, Lexington was a thriving town. People from Athens came to Lexington to shop. Lexington had the biggest merchants west of Augusta, and they had their goods shipped in from New York. Through the years, Lexington was home to some of the most noted lawyers and politicians in Georgia. Just listen to some of these names: William Harris Crawford, George Rockingham Gilmer, Wilson Lumpkin, Joseph Henry Lumpkin, Thomas Willis Cobb, and others. It was said that the voice of Oglethorpe County gave voice to the politics of the state. William Harris Crawford served in a national capacity under Presidents James Madison and James Monroe. He even ran as a presidential candidate in the 1824 election. George Gilmer and Thomas Cobb were very active in state affairs between the 1790s and the Civil War. When the Athens-Augusta Railroad was constructed in 1834 through about 1841, topographical problems and the citizens' concern for safety and noise caused the track to be laid 3 miles from Lexington. We all know what happens when the railroad bypasses your town. It's the kiss of death. So true with Lexington. Lexington now has evolved into a quiet, dignified, and elegant town. It's a bedroom community for Athens. It is relatively true to its 18th and 19th century origins. Hope you smile extra big next time you pass through this wonderful hamlet in our state. Thanks for sharing some time with me today. Bye.